Supreme Darkness is the first core set of 2025, and while it's not going to be as powerful of a set as Rage of the Abyss or Infinite Forbidden, it's definitely got a lot of really powerful cards that are going to see a lot of meta play. How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to take a look at Supreme Darkness, the new set releasing on January 24th, and talk about how good this set is overall. We're going to do an analysis of the main archetypes of the set along with some really powerful cards that are being released, because while there are a lot of really awesome archetypes, the most important cards are going to be these one-of cards that help out a lot of the really powerful strategies we see in the game today. Your local OTS should have had their sneak peek this past weekend, and now you must be trying to decide if you should buy this product sealed, and hopefully this video helps with that. So if you're excited for the newest core set in the TCG, then do me a favor and smash the like button, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But with that being said, it's time for us to find out just how good is Supreme Darkness. So first off, there are a ton of new archetypes being released in this set, but in my opinion, there are 4 main ones that are going to see a lot of popularity. Those 4 are going to be YuGiOh, Mitsurugi, Azamina, and Crystron. Starting off, let's talk about the fan favorite, being YuGiOh. The new cards are YuGiOh Neos Lord, YuGiOh Toxic Bubble, YuGiOh Dead End Prison, YuGiOh Infernal Rider, YuGiOh Inferno Wing Backfire, YuGiOh Darkest Night, Evil Assault, Dark Contact, and Dark Supremacy. If you're a fan of the hero archetype, you're going to love these cards. They offer great generic hero support, but also allow you to change your deck and focus more on the evil hero fusions. Neos Lord lets you steal your opponent's monsters, and Backfire gets you consistency to search for Dark Fusion or cards that mention it. And all the main deck monsters are just extenders for the strategy. Toxic Bubble is a free special summon and can draw 2 cards, and Dead End Prison is a foolish burial but also acts as a replacement for fusion materials, and Infernal Rider lets you access Dark Fusion and Super Poly from the deck. And it also lets you bypass the restriction that forces you to use Dark Fusion to fusion summon your monsters. Evil Assault is basically 1-for-1 but for heroes, and Dark Contact lets you fuse Dark Fusion monsters. Personally, I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to the new hero cards or how good the hero archetype is in general, but when I speak to hero players, they all seem really excited for this new support. But the new evil hero cards are nothing compared to the new TCG exclusive Mitsurugi archetype. This archetype, based on rituals and reptile monsters, is incredible, and the new cards being released are Ame no Murakumo no Mitsurugi, Futsu no Mitama no Mitsurugi, Mitsurugi Saji, Mitsurugi Kusanagi, Mitsurugi Prayers, Mitsurugi Ritual, and Mitsurugi Great Purification. Mitsurugi is one of the most hyped archetypes of the set, and it's expected to see meta play both as a pure deck or when paired with Ogdoadic or Azamina cards, and most importantly as a Rizal variant. The main ritual monster Murakumo is insane. Not only is it 3200 attack, but on summon it's Raigeki. It's a negate if your opponent can't discard a card, and if it's tributed, you can search your deck for any Mitsurugi card and special summon it, which will trigger its Raigeki-like effect. The other ritual monster Mitama has the same effect to search and special summon if it's tributed, but while it's on the field, if your opponent special summons, you can target a reptile monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Saji and Kusanagi can both protect reptile monsters from destruction by tributing themselves, and if they are tributed or summoned, you can search your deck for a Mitsurugi spell or trap with Saji, or add a Mitsurugi card from graveyard or banishment to hand. The quick play Prayers is an absolutely ridiculous card. It lets you search, boosting your consistency, and special summon out a ritual monster from your hand. The ritual spell lets you summon out a ritual reptile from the deck using monsters in your hand, or it lets you special summon a ritual reptile from your hand using monsters in the deck, so it's almost always live. The trap is another negate and can special summon back your monsters. Overall, this deck is going to see a ton of play, especially when paired with Rizal. Moving on to the Azamina archetype, which in reality is going to be a combination of 3 separate archetypes: Azamina, White Forest, and Diabellstar. Now personally, this is the archetype in the deck that I'm going to be playing and I'm most excited for this set's release, and there's a ton of really unique cards that are coming to this deck. The first of which is going to be the mainstay, being LZ Azamina of the White Forest. There's also Queen Azamina, Saint Azamina, Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, Play the Diabell, Like the Diabell, Azamina Apes, and Sinful Spoils Awakening. This is another one of the most hyped archetypes in this set. This is the continuation of the Diabellstar lore, and it finally connects White Forest to Azamina seamlessly. The new LZ Azamina reads like a custom card for the archetype, letting you reveal itself and special summon any Azamina or White Forest card from your hand. which helps you if your normal summon is interrupted. It lets you fusion summon into Azamina monsters, and if it's used as synchro material, you can add a Sinful Spoils card from your deck to your hand. Queen Azamina lets the deck access rank 8s a lot easier, but Saint Azamina is a solid boss monster that can cheat out other Azamina monsters. On top of that, it gives the deck an alternate win condition because your opponent takes any battle damage you would take, so you can just crash into your opponent's monsters and burn them for lethal. Unfortunately, the spell and trap cards in this set aren't that great with the exception of Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, which lets you fusion summon during the opponent's turn. So this isn't the end of the Azamina archetype. We're going to be getting new cards in the next core set, Alliance Insight, that should wrap up the lore in its entirety. But between now and then, Azamina White Forest Diabellstar is going to be a very fun deck for a lot of people to play. Up next is another Wombo Combo strategy in Crystron, which has a ton of really good cards that finally make Crystron a meta viable deck. Starting off with Crystron Tristalos, Crystron Sulfador, Crystron Eliskeletius, Crystron Inclusion, and Crystron Cluster. While there are more popular or bigger name archetypes in this set, Crystron will definitely have a meta impact. Tristalos lets you summon a Crystron monster from your deck and synchro summon when your opponent activates a card or effect, and in the graveyard, it can destroy a synchro monster, then summon 2 Crystrons from the deck. Sulfador is a double Foolish Burial on summon and can special summon itself from the hand or graveyard by destroying a Crystron card. The Synchro Eliskeletius adds Crystron cards from grave to hand, and when it's destroyed, it specials Crystrons from the graveyard. Inclusion is a searcher for the archetype and can be banished from the graveyard to special a Crystron in the graveyard, while Cluster can destroy opposing cards. The deck is a good enough combo deck that can play around a ton of hand traps and sets up some really crazy end boards, including Cyber Dragon Infinity, FA Dawn Dragster, and more. If that's the kind of deck that interests you, you should definitely pick this up and give it a try. In my opinion, these are the main 4 archetypes in this set, but there are other really good strategies getting support as well. Like for example, Tenyi. Specifically, it's getting a new tuner in Surya, which gets you to your Link monsters and Synchros at the same time. Speaking of which, there's also a brand new Synchro monster in Mula Adhare which can also search for any field spell on summon, including the new Tenyi field spell, which also is amazing at extending and getting you to protection for your non-effect monsters. Argo Stars is a brand new archetype that focuses on trap monsters, and it has some unique plays, but it doesn't have enough to make a full deck yet in my opinion. Arcanaphores got some brand new cards that basically make it easier to turn skip the opponent with decent consistency, so that's not cool. And Gladiator Beast got Test Bear and Gistel, which boost consistency, a new field spell, link, and fusion monster, and the deck is fine, but it's more of a traditional combo deck now than an old school Glad Beast deck that relied on the battle phase. Goblin Bikers got Gone Bonkers, a new rank 6 monster that can attach opponents' monsters to it and even send cards to the graveyard. And Atlantean Mermail got a few new tools to boost their strategy as well. Overall, the archetypes in this set aren't going to be super meta defining like in Crossover Breakers, but the real value from this set is going to be in the one-off cards that really give value to these existing archetypes. The most obvious card that easily fits that description is easily the super rare Eclipse Twins, which is great support for Rizal. Eclipse Twins has a few pretty straightforward effects but make this card incredibly powerful. First off, for its Xyz summon, you can use rank 4 monsters you control as if they were level 4 monsters. This is great because it can let you bypass the restriction on Rizal Cross. Its effect on field is that you can detach a material to make up to 2 attacks on monsters this turn, so it helps Rizal push for lethal, which could have been a problem at times. But its most important effect, and the reason why it's such a good card, is that if it's sent to the graveyard, you can target 2 other rank 4 or lower monsters in your graveyard, and special summon one of them and attach the other to it as material. This effect is insane because it increases the follow-up from Rizal, while also getting an extra use out of Detonator's effect. It also becomes one of the best cards to send to the graveyard off of X Rizal. Malice from Crossover Breakers also has support in the form of Template Skipper and Minimalian, both of which are extenders from the hand for Malice. Template Skipper is the one that most people are excited about, but I think there's a lot of potential for Minimalian. It can banish an already used Malice monster to special summon a Nightmare Corruptor Ibali from the deck to lock the opponent at a special summoning. There's also a ton of excitement around Primite Dragon Ether Barrel, which is huge for any deck using the Primite strategies, including the upcoming Blue Eyes deck. It gives them extra interruption through the Primite spells and recurs itself every single standby phase, and because it's a dragon monster, you can get into Hieratic Seals of the Heavenly Spheres. It's a great card for any deck using vanilla monsters. Clockwork Knight is an ultra rare that is a huge boost to almost any machine deck, including Crystron, Cyber Dragon, and to a much lesser extent, Orchist. Its effect is almost irrelevant, but it's a Link 1 monster for machines, so it can easily get your cards into the graveyard to combo off. Magistus Chorozo seems unassuming, but it's a card that everyone should have in their collection. As long as you have a Spellcaster monster and any extra deck monster, you can convert those into a level 4 tuner, which can be used for Xyz plays for powerful cards like Abyss Dweller, or for powerful synchro plays. We no longer have cards like Barone or Borreload Savage Dragon, which were being used in the OCG with this card, but we do have other options that are still really powerful. Abawaku the Lightless Shadow is a really unique Link 4 that will also see play eventually. It's able to draw you cards, but it can also act as destruction or even get light or dark monsters back on the field. And finally is what looks like to be the final Molcharmy monster in Molcharmy Meowls, which is a really under the radar secret rare. In my opinion, it's the worst of the 3 Molcharmies, but in this specific format, it is so incredibly strong. It lets you draw a card when your opponent summons from Banish or Graveyard. There are a lot of other really solid cards in this set, so if I missed one, let me know down in the comments and I'll have a discussion about it there. But let me know what you guys think about this set down below. Personally, I think the set overall is fine. It's not the most game-breaking set in the world, but it's not the worst that we've ever seen. I think there's going to be some advantages to buying this set sealed as well. It's not going to change the game completely, but there is going to be a slight meta impact from this set that you definitely have to be ready for. Personally, I'll be buying a sealed box of this product for myself, but if you guys can't afford to do that, that's completely fine. Buying the singles is always going to be cheaper than going out and buying the sealed product. But anyways, that's going to be it from me. So if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor and leave a like on the video. Also, make sure to comment down below what deck you're going to be playing in the new format. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.